Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, people. My beautiful people. Happy Halloween to you out there. You know, here on Operation Status Quo, we don't go mainstream so much. And I can go down a whole road about, Halloween being some sort of satanic holiday and everything else. But, at the same time, you got to have a little bit of fun in the world and with life and all that type of stuff. And happy Halloween. We don't want to be over the top, right, all the time. As much as the world is, a bunch of nonsense and manipulation of truths and such, we have to have a little, you have to still have some kind of space to have a little bit of, you don't want to take all the joy out of everything is all I'm saying, right? So, well, no matter how satanic and misinterpreted or whatever Halloween may be, I used to have fun as a kid, getting dressed up and going trick-or-treating. And that's what, I'll get into that. First of all, let me say hello and welcome to Operation Status Quo. My name is Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host, and I am broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home, as you know. Also, this is Operation Status Quo. I know I've said that, but I'm going to say it again. This is Operation Status Quo. I know I said it again and again, but either way, that's what it is. And this is the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, yo. And today's flow of quo happens to deal with Halloween because it's Halloween. And what are you doing out there? Drop in the comments as I'm going on. I have some, kind of fun facts about Halloween, and we'll see what they bring up and what it makes me think. I looked through it real briefly. I do this all the time, like when just to give you, behind the scenes, when I do these lists a lot of times, I kind of I'll breeze through it and notice a couple things, go, okay, yeah, that seems like I can get something out of that. And then I go back and when I do the show and I realize I'm not paying, I didn't really read half of what I thought I looked at, and then it's all like a surprise to me. So I think, it's a surprise to you. It should be, surprise to me, surprise to you. I think that's what makes it so nice for everyone, instead of just regurgitating stuff that I already know that I read it all already, right? That's no fun. I want it to be fun for all of us. So first of all, before I get into the list, let's a couple things if you want to, for things to drop in the comments. Maybe your favorite costume growing up, what you wore, or maybe the favorite costume you dressed your kids in, or favorite costume you dressed your pets in, maybe something like that. You can put in the comments and let me know. Maybe your favorite candy. What's that? I'll tell you right off the bat that I'm a Reese's guy. Reese's is number one, and then I guess I would go Snickers, probably number two for me. But generally, I never get past the Reese's. They're really all I want, whether it be Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups. I mean, especially the Reese's Cups, they're really my favorite. But I don't know. Let me know what your favorite candy is out there. And, as we start here, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, briefly, because this is Operation Status Quo and we are observing the world out there. And, again, we just want to, keep in mind to not let things get you out of control. I see another breaking story with just a couple hours ago about whatever recent bombing is going on in Gaza and how many people are probably killed and everything else. And, it's just going to continue to escalate, and I've been trying to keep things a little lighter in certain regard of the topics over the past week or so, because I feel, especially after this thing happened with Israel back on the October 7th, just really everything really went to a whole nother level there. And, listen, you guys who follow me and watch me regularly, you know how I feel about a lot of things and everything else. And it's just really, to be really, really serious, no matter what's happening with truth and lies, whatever's happening, it's just, it's just a damn shame that all these people die. Everybody's just killing each other. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, okay? Because we're going to have some fun. But I just, I want to bring attention to it briefly and just, remind I'm not here for all fluff all the time. I really do care about, deeper things. And, but I don't want it to be heavy all the time, right? It's too much heaviness in the world. I'm here to lighten the load. That's what we do on Operation Status Quo. We create the space where we can observe life and understand it, but then we do what we got to do and live, because you still have to live, whether they're blowing up stuff or whatever happens in the future, however it turns out, we still have to live. So we're always going to have to mitigate the circumstances as our world changes, and we're always going to have to be confident and strong in our beliefs of ourselves and be able to always move forward and create, the world that we want to create, the life we want to create. Okay? All right. So if you're with me out there live, don't feel shy to drop comments in the comments and, participate and let me know what the hell you're doing out there. All right, here we go. Let's do some Halloween facts here and see what they say about Halloween. Now, I didn't read this one. I didn't read this one yet. But they do say the holiday dates back more than 2,000 years. Halloween is even older than Christianity itself. Well, yeah, because, Satan, Christianity came to offset Satan, right? So Halloween came from Satan. Didn't I just say I'm not going to be heavy? I'm not going to be heavy. Let's stop. Stop it. Stop it. All right. It all started as a pre-Christian Celtic festival. I don't know if I can pronounce this word. It was called Samhain, 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 I guess, if I want to talk like an East Coast Jersey person. Hey, what is that there? Samhain, but Samhain, which means summer's end. It was held in the beginning of November. The feast recognized the last day of the fall harvest and spirits crossing over. Since they believe the veil between the living and the spirit world grew thinnest at that time, people in Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France used to ward off ghosts by lighting sacrificial bonfires and, you guessed it, wearing costumes to trick the spirits. So that's how it kind of started, it looks like, huh? It was a holiday even older than Christianity, and it was a time. It's interesting, though, that you talk about the fall and the harvest, because it's true. I mean, it is harvest time. That's one of the things I love the most about this time of year, just that it's harvest time in the fall feel. I don't care so much for, like, Halloween's cool. Like, I think it's a cool idea to get dressed up, and you go, put up some decorations. But even here in my neighborhood, like, there's these crazy decorations now. Like, the one person has, like, it looks like a bloodied little zombie baby that it's like, just its head and arms are coming out of the ground. And, like, I don't know, it's not like much. Like, if I have a child, do I want my, I'm getting old, but I don't like all that gory. I never was into the horror movies and everything. I don't like the gore and, all that type of stuff. The one house too has, like, I don't know if you've seen them. They got these, like, big spider webs that start from, like, the roof and it comes, like, down the whole front of the house. And they got these, like, huge, like, fake, obviously fake, the spiders, on this web. And I thought to myself, damn, can you imagine if that was real, though? And you had, like, 3 of these big fucking spiders crawling on your house. I mean, I'd be petrified, right? So I guess that's the whole point. But anyway, so that's the history. Over 2,000 years of Halloween. Those people probably didn't even get candy back then. Trick-or-treating has existed since medieval times. Taking candy from strangers on one night a year and one night only isn't a new or uniquely American tradition. Back then, it was known as guising. In Scotland and Ireland, young people dressed up in costumes and went door to door looking for food or money in exchange for performing songs, poems, or other tricks. Okay. Today, the tradition has morphed into children getting dressed up and asking for candy. Hardly anyone sings for their mini Snickers these days, but a simple thank you will go a long way. See how everything was always different back in the old days, right? I mean, back in those times, those kids got dressed up. They go door to door. They're not looking just for a handout. Hey, I'm at the door. Give me something. They performed, right? They did some sort of little, song or a poem or whatever kind of trick that they would do to please the audience, and then they would be, paid for their services, as it were. And not like today, especially in America, the kids just go to the door. They barely even got a costume on now. Like, these kids, they're just lazy. They'll put, like, I don't know, they'll put like get a pillowcase and just, like, cut an eye out of it or something. Oh, I'm a pillow. I don't know. And they just knock on the door. They expect you just get candy. And if you don't give them something, then you're a real jerk, and they come back and they egg your house. I mean, it's really a damn shame, quite honestly. But yeah, how about that? Some Halloween rituals used to be geared towards finding a husband. Oh my goodness. During the 18th century, single ladies, oh, the single ladies, oh, the single ladies, oh, the single ladies. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. Single ladies devised Halloween traditions that were supposed to help them meet their romantic match. According to history.com, women used to throw apple peels over their shoulder, hoping to see their future husband's initials in the pattern they made when they landed. When bobbing for apples at parties, the winner would supposedly marry first. Most spookily, they even used to stand in a dark room holding a candle in front of a mirror to look for their future husband's face to appear in the glass. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a lot. Well, first of all, let me dissect that a little bit, because a couple things. First of all, they throw the apple peels over their shoulder to want to see the initials of their husband in the apple peel when they turn around. Now, can you imagine if they just decided Like it looks like whatever letters they decide, and now they figure it's like you, like I'm Pete Palmer, so they see PP, they see two P's in the app. They go, oh, it's the apple peel shows PP. Pete's got to be my husband. Next thing I know, I got some crazy broad banging on my door, wanting to say, you gotta marry me. I'm not marrying you. I'm not doing it. No, stop screaming. Get the hell out of here. I'm not marrying you. I told you. You can't make me do it. I won't do it, and I won't have it. No way. I don't care. It's Halloween. Shut up. Get out of here. All right. So anyway, and then this other one, bobbing for apples at parties, and the winner would supposedly marry first. Now, imagine if like you're a real desperate woman in that situation, right? And you're bobbing for the apple, and you just can't get an apple because it's just not, you just can't get it for whatever reason while you're bobbing, and you're bobbing for this apple, and if you don't come up with an apple, you are not going to get a husband. So how many women probably died back in this day of accidental drowning in an effort to bob for an apple to get a husband? Do you see what I'm saying? It's just insanity, people. It's insanity. Oh boy. And how many house fires started with these women holding a candle in front of a mirror to see their future husband's face? I mean, God forbid, imagine, that'd be a little scary if you're doing that and you actually see a face, right? Then you'd be like, oh my God, what the frig? I'd probably it would deter you to even go back to that person because you'd be kind of scared of it. Let's see. Immigrants helped popularize the holiday in the United States. When the Irish fled the potato famine that devastated their country in the 1840s, they brought their Halloween traditions with them. The celebration spread across the country until the mischievous Halloween pranksters reached an all-time high in the 1920s. Some believe community-based trick-or-treating became popular in the 1930s as a way to control many pranksters. So I guess instead of, pranking people, they just let the holiday become what it is and said, listen, we're tired of all this nonsense. Let's just give these kids some candy and we can calm everything down. How about this? Oh my goodness. During World War II, we might be facing this again, not this year, but by next year. Sugar rationing during World War II paused trick-or-treating. And with everything that's going on in the world today, if the supply chains are cut, we might have the same problem next year. Although I will say this, based on the intent of the powers that be, I can never see that they would stop the supply of sugar because sugar is like eating death, right? The sugar is like the number one thing that kills you. So even though if our world goes into total chaos, I am sure that they will still deliver sugar to each and every American door and keep those Mountain Dews flowing so people can be as unhealthy and unfit and unmentally stable as possible. But obviously during World War II, I don't have to read into all that. I mean, there was a war, right? So there were shortages. Now Halloween is the second largest commercial holiday in the country. I was ready to say Christmas because, of course, Christmas is number one, obviously. Only Christmas rakes in more dough. Consumers spent approximately $9 billion on Halloween in 2019. Spending was down a bit in 2020 because of COVID, but Americans still forked out over $8 billion overall, an average of $92 per person. Geez, I haven't done anything for Halloween in ages. I can't remember the last time. I should have put something on today. I even have hold on, let's see. I got this over here. I put this on. Hold on, let me put a costume on. There we go. I got to do something for you guys. Let me make this try to look good here. I used this hat once before in another episode, so it's still sitting over here. What else I got? Maybe I got my little scary face. Happy Halloween. What do you guys think I got mental problems? I don't know. Let me know if you do. Let me know in the chat if you think I got mental problems. Let's see. Most Americans spend on candy decorations and costumes. Many of us put our money where our mouth is when it comes to loving Halloween. The largest share goes towards candy with 90%, 95% picking up the sweet stuff, 75% planning on buying decorations, and 65% shopping for costumes. I will say this again, going back to these decorations that I see around my neighborhood. This one house, this lady, she's got I don't know, it's got to be like a 7-foot tall scarecrow thing. And I guess it moves like at night, because I could tell, but it's not on during the day. And then she got this other thing that's like this big witch type thing, all these characters, right? And she lives in this it's one of the smaller units like in this neighborhood. And I'm thinking, where the frig does she store these two big skeletons, this big witch, this 7-foot tall? I mean, that's like, you gotta get an extra extra bedroom just for your Halloween decorations. That doesn't even talk about Christmas. Hey, Brandy's on the chat. What's up, Brandy? What's Brandy say? No mental problems. You got to have fun or try. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it. I do try to have a lot of fun. I hope you're having fun out there as well. And, what does make me nervous is that if you feel that I don't have any mental problems, I wonder what that's, what does that say? What does that say about the potential for you having mental problems? How are we doing over there? You back in Pennsylvania? How was your trip to, Brandy took a trip to Florida, and, I hope she had a nice time. She is by the way, Brandy is the official spokesperson of Operation Status Quo in the state of Pennsylvania. So where are you listening from and watching this video from? Let me know. And if you would like to be the official spokesperson in your area, let me know. So far, we have Brandy. That's one official, I guess, and I'm the official spokesperson here in Florida. This is getting really uncomfortable. My headphones are, what the hell? Who needs these damn headphones? You can hear me. Let's see. The Irish also brought us jack-o'-lanterns. As the story goes, an Irishman named Stingy Jack. He tricked the devil and therefore was not allowed into heaven or hell. So he spent his days roaming the earth, carrying a lantern, hence the name Jack of the Lantern. Ooh. Tell that story to the kids when you pick up your seasonal squash. And try not to get goosebumps when you carve up your own pumpkins this year. So there you go. It was actually, Brandy said it was actually warmer in Baltimore than it was in Florida. So you got to come further south, Brandy. If you stay up in northern Florida, that area, it's really just as bad as being anywhere else. I have noticed this. So it's that middle point. You got to get past that, definitely past like Ocala and kind of like where I am in that kind of middle area. It's kind of a cutoff point. When you go further south, it's warm all the time, but it's nice here. This is a really beautiful area for climate, as it were. They used to be carved. How about this? So they used to be carved out of turnips, potatoes, and beets. Jack-o'-lanterns. They did originate in Ireland, after all. Once Halloween became popular in America, people used local produce like pumpkins instead. This year, you might consider adding some creative carvings to your Halloween by using some more natural foods. They used to use turnips, potatoes, and beets, which I can understand. Turnips and beets, they're not my favorites. So, potatoes, don't waste the potatoes. But I always thought that too about I have to be honest, let me take this off because it's annoying me. When it comes to the pumpkins. Why do I always have to bring up Bali? I'm sorry that I do. Just so many experiences from there. But when I was there, one of the things they would cook was pumpkins all the time. Actually cooked the whole pumpkins and they cut it and it was absolutely delicious. And I always thought damn, every year I buy a pumpkin or my family buy pumpkins and we carve the pumpkins and all that kind of crap. And what are you left with? I'm saying you wind up just it rots out, you throw it away. So when I came back from my trip to Indonesia, I actually did buy a pumpkin and cook it, and it was really, really good. So don't be shy out there. All those pumpkins are selling. They're not just for decoration, people. You can eat the pumpkins, and they're actually really, really delicious. Let's see. There's also a traditional Halloween bread in Ireland. It's called barmbrack, or just brack. If you want to be a little lazy, you just call it brack. The sweet loaf typically contains dark and golden raisins, as well as a small hidden toy or ring. Well, I'll tell you this. I hope that you find the toy or the ring before you swallow it, right? Because if you're eating in the bread and there's a toy or a ring inside the bread, you might have a little bit of an accident. That could be a choking hazard. We're here in America. It is a fairly litigious area, this country. So you want to make sure you're not getting sued. Let people know that there is some sort of choking hazard within the bread. Let's see here. Illinois produces up to 5 times more pumpkins than any other state. So if you are looking for, what do they say? They say they got 15,000 acres devoted to gourd growing there in Illinois. So if you're looking for the best pumpkin, right? You got to go to where the source is. So maybe you should make that a family trip one, like a Halloween family trip. You put your costume on, you drive cross country, or maybe you live in Illinois, so it's not really that far for you to go. It depends on where you are, but make it a trip. You could hop in the RV, you go out to Illinois, you got 15,000 acres of growing gourds and pumpkins, and you could just, you pick the best one. So I like the sound of that. Candy corn was originally called a chicken feed. Golitska Confectionery Company originally sold the polarizing treat in boxes with a rooster on the front of it in order to appeal to Americans' agricultural roots. The sugary recipe has gone largely unchanged since the 1880s. Love them or hate them, you can't argue with that kind of consistency. Well, I will say that I do not like candy corn. I'm sorry if this, upsets any of my audience, but I am not a candy corn guy. Never liked it. I don't understand it. It's at the very bottom for me. But if you like candy corn, I think that's great because there's no judgment here. I don't judge. Remember yesterday we were talking about that? I don't judge, okay? You want to eat candy corn? You want to be a dope and eat candy corn? Do it. Stop. That's enough with that now. That's enough. Monster Mash. The Monster Mash once reigned supreme on the Billboard charts. Bobby Boris Pickett reached number one on the Hot 100 in 1962, just before Halloween, and hit the charts again in 1973, but this time in August. You might even say it was a graveyard smash. Right? It was the Monster Mash. Oh, the Monster Mash, a graveyard smash. I don't know. Well, it's obviously that song is that a song you would ever listen to, but aside from any other time, but Halloween, right? You can even visit a pumpkin patch in Hawaii. So there you go. Pumpkin patches are in Hawaii as well. So don't feel like if you want to go on a vacation that you can't do it. I guess there's a spot there in Hawaii. It's a watermelon farm the rest of the year, but pivots to pumpkins to cash in on seasonal appeal. So they do have that going for them over there in Halloween. In Hawaii. Let's see what else. We're going to go through some of these. How about this? The fastest pumpkin carving ever. It took 16.47 seconds. Stephen Clark of New York holds the Guinness Book of World Records distinction, having speedily carved his lantern in October of 2013. In order to nab the title, the jack-o'-lantern had to contain a complete face, including eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. No words on whether the expression was silly or scary. But how about that? This guy was able to carve a pumpkin and make a whole face in 16.4 seconds. I mean, first of all, it's pretty good, because it's not like the easiest thing sometimes to cut into the pumpkin, right? So, it's actually, it's work. This guy has a real skill. Imagine the kind of business he could churn out during the year if he wanted to make jack-o'-lanterns for like his family and friends or have a little business. He can work 6-7 minutes a day and be able to have a bunch of pumpkins to sell. So that's pretty good. Let's see. New York throws the biggest Halloween parade in the U.S. I didn't even realize, does New York still do? Will they do it? Actually, the way New York is nowadays, you don't even have to. Every day is a Halloween. Hold on, I need my applause. That's a good one. Every day is a Halloween parade in New York now. Here comes the Halloween parade. Hold on. Hey-o. The ghosts and the goblins are with us here on Operation Status Quo. No, we're so scared. It's very scary. Let's see. Princesses, or I guess you would say prince-I, right? You can't say princesses, prince-I. Princesses and superheroes rank as the most popular kids' costumes. What did you like? I'll tell you what. Here's really, I'm going to tell you two. It just popped into my head when I was young, okay? This is really showing my age and going back. One year, because I was a little chubbier when I was a kid, and I had just, being a Catholic, I'm a recovering Catholic, by the way, if I haven't mentioned that before. When I made my first communion, right? So at that age, we had to wear the white suit, to make your communion, and I'll never forget. So my parents, my family wanted me to get another use out of that white suit. So I was actually Boss Hogg one year, Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard, when I was a kid, and they did up my hair and whatever, blah blah blah. So I was Boss Hogg, and then another time I was Fonzie from Happy Days, and I'll never forget because I really didn't like that one because I would go door to door, and these people, they wanted me to go, "Ayy," before they would give me the candy, and I didn't want to go, "Ayy." I just wanted the candy. But that goes back to what I was saying before about Americans, being lazy. These other people were doing tricks and treats and everything else. Okay, Skittles are the top Halloween candy. How about that? No chocolate, no problem. The bite-sized fruit candies outranked M&M's, Snickers, and Reese Cups according to 11 years of sales data. And even though candy corn made the top 10, the tri-colored treats also ranked among the worst Halloween candies according to CandyStore.com. No wonder Halloween night candy trades get so intense. Yeah, I just think everybody should just give Reese's and just call it a day. Reese's and Snickers, and I guess the Hershey's chocolate. It's all you really need. Let's say we have a city in Canada banned teens over 16 from trick or treating. Anyone over the age of 16 caught trick or treating in Bathurst, Canada, faces up to a $200 fine. The city also has a curfew for all residents, so even those under 16 aren't allowed after 8 p.m. on Halloween. The rules were instituted to curtail after dark mischief after a rash of pranks. Here's what's funny. What if, like, your birthday is Halloween, right? And maybe you weren't born until like 8 o'clock, or you're only allowed till 8. Say you were born 2 o'clock in the afternoon, on Halloween. So now you are going to turn 16, right? I guess if you're over 16, right? So say if you can't be, those under 16 I'm sorry, what did it say here? Those over the age of 16. So I guess if you're 16, maybe you're still okay. Either way, just say, you hit your birthday right on Halloween. You're just missing the cut. I mean, can't they give you just the one last little hoorah, I can't believe you think they would actually give somebody a $200 fine for trick-or-treating. Sometimes I've seen kids where I didn't give them candy, like grown-ups knocking at the door. I'm like, what are you doing here? This is for kids. Get the hell out of here. That's all you should do. Harry Houdini, he died on Halloween in 1926. The famous magician, illusionist, and entertainer died from his ruptured appendix. However, as befits a man of mystery, multiple contradicting reports did surface at the time. Some say a band of angry spiritualists poisoned him. Others say that a student punched him in the stomach with his permission that caused his appendix to burst. Whatever happened, we can all agree that dying on Halloween was very on brand for Mr. Houdini. I don't know, maybe it was a magic trick, and maybe he didn't really die, and maybe Houdini's still alive, just like Elvis is still alive, and Hitler's still alive. And what's the other person I always throw in there with that? There's another one that's not as well known. Gilda Radner from Saturday Night Live. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I always said, Gilda Radner and Elvis, and Hitler, they're all living together. I don't know why Gilda Radner that I would throw that in there. Some shelters used to suspend black cat adoptions for Halloween. They say some satanic cults would kind of use them, and they didn't want to promote, satanic rituals on cats on Halloween, so they would suspend black cat adoptions on Halloween. Let's see, is there anything else good here? Because we're going to wrap this up here. We're getting to our time zone. We don't want to keep you guys too long. I appreciate you being with me here on Operation Status Quo. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a happy Halloween out there. Let's see. Is that the last one? Yeah, this is the last one, so I'll just say the night before Halloween is called Mischief Night or Goosey Night. I never heard of it as Goosey Night, but I do know of it as Mischief Night. The kids go out and they throw the toilet paper on your house or some eggs, or maybe they pee on your car. I'm not sure what the kids do now. They probably just burn down your house now, right? They come in and slaughter your family. Oh, it's just a prank. Happy Halloween. We're going to slaughter your family. But anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Give a round of applause for Halloween. 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 Okay. All right. Seriously. I love you guys out there. I hope you enjoyed that today. Just a little bit of fun on the holiday. Well, it's not really a holiday. I don't know. Is it a holiday? I don't know what the hell it is. It's a day. And, it's good for the kids. It could be fun. We don't have to get heavy and get into the deep, I know some people will be like, don't even want to talk about it. It's like deep and evil. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But, we can also take the good out of it, right? Nothing has to be 100% evil or good, right? We can find what works for each of us. So anyway, that's what I got for you here today on Operation Status Quo. And you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys out there individually as well as a group. I appreciate you being here with me and all that type of stuff. Well, we're still working hard to fight the YouTube algorithm. So if you'd be so kind to like, subscribe, share, obviously, I appreciate that. And I hope you guys have a safe trick-or-treating event out there or whatever's going on in your life. If not, for me personally, the lights will be off and I will not answer the door. I have no candy to give. I have no decorations up. I'm Scrooge for Halloween. I'm Scrooge. That's my costume this year. So, all right, stay positive. Keep the light shining. It's a beautiful world out there. It's all what you make it. I love you guys out there. God bless. Until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo disengaged.